from 360 Mortgage Solutions. So I wanted to jump on today and share with you a recent client experience. So as you know, as a mortgage broker, when I meet with my clients, the couple of things that I really work on is what's important to them and what are they looking to achieve. And not just looking to achieve now, but what are they looking to achieve long term? Because all of these things will have an impact on what I recommend the way forward would be. This week, I had a phone call from a real estate agent who was asking for me to help out a client of theirs. They'd actually had a contractor sale on a property for quite some time, that the finance due date had been extended and extended and extended. So what she was hoping that I could do was have a chat to the client to work out, is this actually going to go anywhere and can I help this client? So I got to meet with the client and have a chat to him about what he's looking to do. And look, everyone's circumstances are unique, and his was certainly that. He just recently moved up from Sydney, left his own self-employment in Sydney to work PAYG in Queensland, where his long-term goal is to set his business up in Queensland and also do some renovations on the property to hopefully make some money down the track. So while we were talking, it became really evident that the main thing, or the most important thing to my client right now, was to get the finance approval. He'd found the perfect property he wanted to renovate. It was well within his price range. He was ready to go and more than ready to move in. And the only thing stopping him was getting the finance. Now, he'd previously spoken to his bank before he left Sydney, and he had a pre-approval in place and then a conditional approval once he signed the contract for this property. That unfortunately fell over. So when you're looking at one bank, they've got one policy and they can only do what's within that policy. So unfortunately, if something happens and it's no longer within that policy, the bank can't do it for you. By the time he'd gotten to me, he was fairly over it and ready to just give up on the whole thing. But he was ready to give me one shot. Based on what his priorities were, we looked at a lender with a great interest rate, fantastic service, and an awesome turnaround time. And the reason we wanted the awesome turnaround time is we wanted within a couple of days to secure this property, lock down the contract, and start getting ready for settlement. For two reasons. Firstly, I mentioned earlier, all his work gear was stuck outside at the place he was boarding and it was out in the weather. Also, he had a whole lot of family coming up from Sydney for Christmas. So we really wanted to try and get him into that property before all the solicitors and everyone shut up shop over the Christmas break. So this is where the beauty of having a client who's pretty motivated by timeframes comes into play, because everything I asked for and more got provided to me within minutes. So we were able to submit an application, and 24 hours later we had a formal approval. No valuation required, which was fantastic. No extra questions. They simply came back with a formal approval. So we were able to lock down that contract, which had been put off and put off and put off for the client. He's now talking to the vendor about the potential of moving into the property prior to settlement, so that he can make sure that he's got somewhere for his family over Christmas, and so he can make sure he's got somewhere to store his tools that's nice and safe. But the beauty is, or the moral of the story is, sometimes talking to your bank may not help you with the outcome you're looking to do. Sometimes you need to talk to a mortgage broker who can work out what your plans are, what's important to you, and then work with you to make sure that that happens. So if you've got any questions or you've got some unique circumstances you want to have a chat to me about, make sure you send me a message or give me a call. Otherwise, Merry Christmas, and I'll talk to you soon.